Yo, 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 what's up, Sooner fans? This is your host from the Prairie back home, Jeremiah Hall, formerly number 27 on the field, but always number one in your hearts. Here with me today, you know who it is, my right-hand man, number 9 on the field, our captain and fearless leader, the Brayden, Weight Room Willie Willis. And this is the podcast on the Prairie. Brayden?
Jay?
That intro always makes you smile just a little bit, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I like that it brightens your day, you know?
I appreciate it, man.
No problem. How you feeling?
I'm all right. I don't like losing too much, but, it's spilled milk. I think JB had the best line I've heard. He said, you can't unscramble scrambled eggs. So, it is what it is now. Now we got to focus on, being the best team we can be from here on out, and let it be a learning opportunity instead of it trending into a bad, into a negative direction, I guess. So,
all right. You can't unscramble scrambled eggs. That's a first. I've never heard that one. That's a good one though.
mm-hmm.
I like it. As a tight end and a fullback, a big part of our job on the field is protecting others. We have our moments, but most of the time we're doing the gritty work behind the scenes to help our teammates shine.
That sounds just like our friends at Plainview Legal Group. Haley and Travis Dennis are longtime property attorney experts who will work tirelessly for their clients. They fight hard and handle the nitty-gritty of your property issues so you can focus on life's other issues.
When you use Plainview Legal, you are working with die-hard Sooners. Haley and Travis have 5 degrees from the university, and Haley has even taught at OU's law school.
So whether you're being contacted by Oklahoma Turnpike Authority about acquiring your land or dealing with any other property issues, we highly encourage you to set up a free consultation with Plainview Legal Group.
You can go to their website at www.plainviewlegal.com. Give them a call at 405-310-0183 or email them at info@plainviewlegal.com. We're incredibly grateful for Plainview Legal for the support they give the show, so please check them out.
Please see the show notes of this episode for important disclaimer information.
Well, I'm glad you're not down in the dumps. I feel like oftentimes in Norman, the score reflects the morale around the town, and that's a lot of weight to carry. I was leaving the stadium, and so many people were like, man, it's going to be a rough pod this week, huh? I'm like, no, never. It's never going to be a rough pod, man. I remember after the first loss we took last year, and I was just like, man, how do I approach the podcast any different? I was like, nah, man, positivity. And I think we talked about that last year. I'm never one to try and let the end score just absolutely kill me, But
yeah,
glad you're doing fairly well considering the circumstances. So no brunch today though, huh?
No brunch. My parents had to get up early, to go watch my little sister go ball out in San Marcos, and so they left early, and so we kind of did our little dinner last night instead of a brunch, and then had treatment.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. So
Sooner Nation, I was supposed to go to brunch with B. Willie and his family today. It is Sunday for us, and I woke up at like 9:15, but I didn't text you until 10 something. I wish I would have texted you earlier because I was sitting around waiting. I was like, I'm not gonna text them too early, but
that's on me. I probably should have texted you.
I was looking forward to the brunch.
That's on me. That's on me.
Nah, you're good. I didn't eat anything either. So I'm like, when you said no, I was just like, dang. Okay.
Oh, now I feel bad. Now I feel bad. My fault.
No, it's good. I mean, I understand. Like, I didn't want to bother you because, one, you guys had just lost, and two, like,
yeah,
I don't know. I remember being busy, so I was just like, I'm just gonna let you do your thing.
I feel bad. I'm sorry, big dog. Yeah, it was good. Got a few nicks and bruises that I got to tend to, but other than that, it was good.
Nothing made you don't have anything bothering you or anything?
Nah, relatively good, healthy at this point of the year. I mean, just little stuff like, stuff that, if I would say on here, people would be like, oh my God. But like to you, it's just like part of the deal. Like, like dislocated fingers and stuff like that. Like that's just nothing, So
have you picked up a
new
dislocation? Yeah, a new one.
I picked up my pinky.
Pinky gang. Hey.
Yeah, pinky. That was relatively recent. That makes 2, 3, 4, 5 dislocations and 1 broken thumb.
Oh, you got me beat. I got 3 dislocated fingers, but only 4 2 on the pinky, so 4 total.
Yeah. Got you beat by 1. This recent one, the recent one was the one that edged you out.
Yeah, getting married is gonna be tough, man. I don't know what my wife's gonna do.
You see my ring finger?
Ew. Oh man, that's funny. Well, I'm glad you're doing good, bro. My weekend was fun outside the game. I went to the fair. Took some pictures with some kids out there. Had a good time. I had what was it called? Fried Oreos. Fried Oreos were so bomb. Oh
Love fried Oreos.
I had fried Oreos, a turkey leg. I wanted an Indian taco, but by the time you eat just those 2 things, I was full. I was like, nah, I can't do it to myself. I might get caught up to the NFL on Sunday, so who knows?
True. An Indian taco, that's interesting.
Yeah, Indian taco, bro. It's like this big, I think it's fried, just flat bread with a whole bunch of, think of like the, what's that taco from Taco Bell? It's the thick one. Oh man, I used to get them all the time, but then I stopped. But it's not the regular shell, and it's not the soft taco, but it's the like.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name. I don't want to say anything false and have everybody coming from me. So, but I think I know what you're talking about, though.
The fans will know what we're talking about. I would go look it up, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. Had a blast at the fair. I went to Campus Corner with my fraternity brothers. I think Friday.
Speaking of that, at the game, boy, when we were coming into Walk of Champions, y'all boys was deep. I said, that.
Oh yeah, you saw us. Yeah. Bro, it was so funny because everybody thought we were Kansas State, and I'm just like, no. So I had to go and get an OU hat because I was there for like 30 minutes around like 2:00, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna get bad. So I had to go find me an OU hat. I'm like, yes, this is Jay Hall. I'm wearing crimson. Relax. So, but yeah, man, we had a great time. For those of you who saw us, yeah, you just had to be there. But the game was what else did I do this weekend? We read to kids. I thought that was fun. I think 40 of my fraternity brothers went around to I think 8 different schools, and we all read to kids. I read to 2nd grade, so that was nice. So ask your kid if you guys live in Norman. If you have a kid in elementary school, ask your kid if a person in purple read to him. That was the bros. So funny thing is, the class that I read into the teacher's husband at the game, and that was cool because he was like, hey, yeah, you met my wife earlier. I was like, I did. Like, what did I say? Did I mess up? Like, I'm sorry. Because I thought, like, who knows, like maybe I was talking to somebody or something like that. But he was like, yeah, my wife sent me a picture. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm in the clear. I was thinking he's gonna be mad at me or something. He showed me the picture, and small world, in a stadium of 80,000, you just so happen to run into somebody's husband that you just met earlier that day. So the weekend was cool. Coming back to Norman made me realize how unclean some college kids are, because my frat brother in his room was not up to par. College students are disgusting.
Very much so.
I haven't been over to your place in a while, but anyways, let's
I keep my
Let's
stuff
move on
tidy.
to the game. Yeah, I know you do pretty well.
Tidy
The couple of times I have been over there.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the game though, bro. Let's from my perspective, first time being a fan and first time seeing all the pregame stuff, bro. Do you know how much happens pregame? Like I know you probably we've never seen it. So let me tell you.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like
you're talking about like
flag,
before we.
Yeah, the flag,
Yeah,
the marching band, the chant, the flyover, the videos, it was just cool seeing all of that. I felt bad when they started the OU chant because I didn't know a word. I knew. Well, hold on. Let me tell you why, bro. Because I graduated early in January, and they don't do what's the thing they do over the summer with all the new kids?
Camp
Crimson.
Crimson, yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't get to do that, so I didn't learn the chant or I didn't learn anything. I was an early enrollee. I've never been to a pregame, so when everybody was saying it, I was just like, "Ooh, this is cool." Nice. Then I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be saying this too," and I was like, they got it." So that was cool. The fans were great. I don't know about you, but what did you think about the crowd last night?
Yeah, I thought it was a great atmosphere. I thought it was electric. Obviously, with the way things trended, the atmosphere in the stadium kind of followed that, that mood. But other than that, man, like the Walk of Champions, man, was ridiculous, man. It was deep. It was just a sea of red out there. Beginning of the game, man, it was loud. They came ready. And so, we don't ever take that for granted, no matter the outcome of any game, So I really appreciate Sooner Nation for that. And, I just encourage them to keep on doing that because, we had a little hiccup, but we're going to get stuff trending in the right direction. So I don't want that to discourage anybody from coming or, being loud or anything like that. So I just want to say I appreciate Sooner Nation and please keep it going.
Yes, sir. Hey, Brayden, what's your first memory from your time playing sports as a kid?
Man, one memory comes to mind about when I was playing football and, youth football. It was a snowy day for some reason in Texas. And I think I had got banged up. And I told my mom, I came over to the sideline. I was like, Mom, I'm hurt. And my mom looked down at me. She's like, are you injured or are you hurt? And then I was like, And then she was like, well, if you're injured, then I understand. But if you're hurt and you sit out this game, you're going to be real disappointed if your team loses. And so then I went back in the game. We ended up winning. So that's one time that sticks out to me.
iNon Sports is providing these memories for kids throughout the state of Oklahoma. If you're a parent and looking to sign your kid up for youth sports, look no further than iNon Sports.
We highly encourage you to consider signing up your kid for flag football, but they also have basketball, volleyball, baseball, and soccer. Ages vary from 3 to 14 years old.
And here's a perk for you parents. Practices and games are on the same day, so it's a 1-day-a-week commitment, and leagues last for 7 weeks.
They have locations in the Edmond, OKC area, Yukon, Moore, and Norman. So check them out by going to i9sports.com or call 405-225-7048.
So one thing I won't do after a loss is put you in a position to just hear me criticize the team. So we're gonna do things differently. We're going to leave the play-by-play up to Gabe and the rest of the critics out there. I just want you to talk about how you feel about the game. Obviously it's an L, but let's talk about it from your perspective. What did you notice? What did you not notice? What things stood out? And that type of deal.
I think first and foremost, I think it starts with me. And, not saying like the loss, but in terms of preparation, because during the week, we had a slow Tuesday, good, really, really good Wednesday, and all the other days were really good, but Tuesday was kind of slow. And after that Tuesday, I wanted to say something, right? And I wanted to I wanted to get the team up as a group and just kind of say something without any coaches there, because usually guys are more receptive when coaches aren't there. But then Chris Murray said something after one of our practice, and he said some really good words. And I was like, and guys were receptive to it. And I was like, oh, like, what I'm saying? He kind of just like, that's what we needed. Like, okay, that's good. But even still, I think I should have said something. This is what I was going to say. I tweeted out earlier this week, rat poison, right? Because I done heard everybody on the social medias and, regular media, just like, drinking our Kool-Aid, hyping our praises, whatever the case may be, And with a team like this that has so much, so many new faces and young faces, you got to think about it. Half of our team is either guys that have transferred in or young guys, right? And half the team is guys that's been here. That's a big separation. You got a bunch of old guys, you got a bunch of young guys, not really much in between, right?
Right.
So these are like 50% of our roster. That was their first time playing Kansas State. Like, they know nothing about Kansas State other than what we have told them, So I wanted to go in there and tell guys like, hey, like, everybody's singing our praises or whatever. And, we don't need to listen to them because we already knew coming into the season how good we can be. So it's no surprise to us. But we also know, looking at the tape and the film, that we're nowhere near how good we can be. We're not playing. There's a lot of mistakes that we need to clean up in general over those first 3 games.
Yeah.
And so I do have a regret on not saying something in that moment. Chris said some words similar to that, but I think I just wanted to call the team up. I should have called the team up and said it in a team meeting format and let older guys get some stuff off their chest. So that's a regret I do have. I won't make that regret again. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say every time I feel it, I'm not going to let anything slide. I don't think you can let everything slide. I think when you have a team of old guys that are all on the same page, maybe. But with the dynamic of our team, I can't let anything slide. So that's why I said that one's on me. I got to be better as a leader. But overall, man, we just started very slow, man. I don't know what it was. And, going to speak more on the offensive side because I'm an offensive guy. I don't want to say anything about the defensive side because I'm not over there. I wasn't, But we just started slow. They definitely knew that we're going to try to establish the run early, because we've been doing it for the last 4 games, trying to establish the run early. So They were keying on that. They were teeing off on that. Same defense that it's difficult to navigate, that 3 safety bandit defense. We had a better plan coming into it, but, it's still a difficult defense to navigate. But, playing a team like that, they don't make many mistakes. They're disciplined and they play hard, So going back to I went and watched the film today, man, and it's really unfortunate because there's like 4 plays.
I was just about to say that.
There's like 4 plays in that tape where if we connect on them 4 plays, it ends up being a blowout instead of us losing.
Yep.
And it's frustrating because this is what I came on a pod and I told y'all like 2 weeks ago. Like the difference in winning and losing or blowing someone out and or not is like super, 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 super small. And it can only be a few mistakes that could cost you,
Right.
So, but going back, and like I said, Kansas State played a great game. Going to give, them their props. I'm not going to take anything from them. But, man, we stopped ourselves the whole game. We really never got stopped other than we stopped ourselves. We get a good drive going. Boom, boom, boom. Penalties. False start, Just a whole lot of sloppy ball was being played on our side of in the terms of us, not even playing penalties, like pre-snap penalties, So I think that really put us in a hole because we were moving the ball. We had over dang near 600 yards of offense.
Yeah, y'all had more total yards at the end of the game than they did. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah.
But so, how did you guys feel at the beginning? First quarter, things were slow. Any hiccups that you felt in that moment, or anything outside of the ordinary?
Yeah, sometimes
because you guys started slow against Nebraska too, but then scored with 20 whatever straight, and this is another slow start for you guys. And I'm not saying the two are relatable by any means, but in one slow start, you guys battled back, and this slow start, obviously a different team. So, like I said, each team is separate, but I'm assuming there was no worry because you guys had already done it before. Do you think the fact that you guys came back and scored that many points the week prior to made an impact on this week? Do you think the guys were a little comfortable?
I do. I think it's two things, quite frankly. I think it is sometimes you can be so unselfish as a group, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but you can be so unselfish as a group that everybody is kind of waiting on other people to make a play. And that's what I felt. Okay. I felt like at the beginning, I've been feeling like this the first couple of games, So like everybody's waiting on someone to make a play. Like, okay, just kind of filling it out. Just waiting for someone to make a play. Someone makes a play, then we go. And that comes, and then that, in terms of what I want to do, I want to be the guy to be able to jumpstart our offense. You know what I'm saying? So trying to figure out a way that I can be the guy to jumpstart our offense, because once we get a jumpstart and once we start going, we start rolling,
Right.
So I think that's the first thing, is that we can't sit around waiting for someone else to make a play. Like everybody has to be ready to make a play at a moment's notice. And then, like you said, I think being a little bit too relaxed, too composed, if that even makes sense, kind of put us in a predicament to where we're like, oh yeah, we can score at a moment's notice. Like let's let defense get a stop. You know what I'm saying? Let's get out there and score. And then when things weren't going our way, we're like, okay, we're still good, but I think there needs to be more of an urgency, not rush, but an urgency,
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a proper term, if we can put a label on it, would be controlled aggression.
Right.
Knowing when things need to be amped up, knowing when there shouldn't be a time of worry. I'd say to reflect on what you just said in terms of being a guy to jumpstart the offense. I always thought that was harder as an H-back because, we're not a primary target in the passing game, and in the run game, things, it's sometimes it's hit or miss, with the H-back. But I will say I thought that Marvin did a good job throughout the game of trying to get you guys sparked up. I think that he made some great plays. I think in the first quarter, we're looking at a 50-yard bomb to Marvin to make it a tie game. And then we just couldn't feed off the momentum after that. But you're right in terms of I wouldn't say the complacency of knowing that just because we've made a comeback before means that we can automatically do it again, and I think that it takes experience, because you're looking at DG, although he's experienced, this is his first year at OU, half the offensive line, Rames is the first season starting and actually having to, fight through struggle. And some other Jaleel Farouk, Theo was out this past year. We're looking at guys who yet they are experienced, but they haven't been through a dogfight. You know what I'm saying? And I think, to credit your point, this is just a learning phase for the team. And I say that, but what do you think about being a part of that? Now, I just said all the guys around you are growing, and then you see on social media, on Twitter, you know, you see, I saw a tweet this morning that said, you know, we knew BV had all the talent, but we also knew that there were going to be bumps in the road. Now, I don't know about you, but how do you feel when you see or hear stuff like that? Because I know you're a fifth-year guy. You want to win. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't want to be a part of a rebuild. You don't want to be part of bumps in the road. Does that come to mind or bother you at all? And do you have any thoughts about that when you see stuff like that on social media?
I tend to not let the social media, affect me. But I also do want to say that I never came into the season thinking about a rebuild year. This isn't a rebuild year. This is a go win it all year. And we definitely can do it. We just got to lock into the details. We have to lock into just all the stuff that makes people great. You know what I'm saying? The extra work, the extra film, like going hard in practice, the physicality, just the composure in terms of pre-snap penalties, everything that goes into being great, we need to lock in on. Because me coming into the season, like that loss hurt me because I'm like, man, I really thought that was going to be the undefeated season, I thought that was going to be an undefeated season. So I didn't come into this thing thinking like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a rebuild year. Like I came in this thing thinking like me being a leader, I'm going to lead this team to great things. So, sometimes it's weird to say, but sometimes failure is not a bad thing. It pushes you to future success, Yeah. So it's a little adversity. Murphy's Law, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And we just got to fight. We got to fight it. We have to – our will to be great has to be stronger than anything else right now. So
yeah, you can't unscramble scrambled eggs.
Exactly.
Brayden, our next sponsor comes with perfect timing. As you know, I'm in Ardmore right now, and I'm always looking for incredible places to eat. Well, it just so happens that our newest sponsors, Ted's Tacos and Cantina, is promoting their restaurant right here in Ardmore.
Man, that's great timing. I know you love Mexican food, and I did too. And I have sources telling me that they're going to hook you up for a free meal when you go in.
Hey, talk to me. I love to hear it. You know what else I love to hear? Ted's Tacos and Cantina offers daily. That's right. Daily happy hour specials and weekly Taco Tuesday deals.
This is a haven for classic and novelty Mexican eats and is the perfect spot to stop for lunch on your way to the Red River Showdown here in a couple weeks. For loaded fries to enchiladas, there's something for everyone.
They're located right off I-35, exit 32. To learn more, visit Ted'sTacosCantina.com. That is Ted's, T-E-D-S, TacoCantina.com. I'm going to cash in on their generous offer for a free meal and report back. But I'm telling you, I already know the food is incredible.
I'm sure you're going to love it. Remember, y'all, that's Ted's Taco and Cantina, an Oklahoma company.
Hey, let's look at the second half. You guys come out and score a field goal on the first drive, I think it was, and you getting a little bit of a chip there on the sidelines, huh? I say, is that the spark you was trying to create right there? Is that the play? I'm about to throw this guy to the sideline and then get the crowd and the team going.
Nah, man. Yeah.
Hey, hold on. My mom texted me. My mom was like, "Look at B. Will flexing his muscles over there on the other side." I just started laughing.
Yeah, if that's what the team needed for sure. But man, I was just doing my job, and I pushed him all the way to the sideline, and when he got over to the sideline, he had a problem with it, I guess. And then, the rest of the team had a problem with it. Meanwhile, me, I'm never going to back down from nobody. So they're over there in my ear, and I'm over there like cheesing, like, let's get into it. Like I'm with all of it. And then my boys started coming down, coming through, and I'm like, okay, and I think I did think that created a spark. So that's what I'm talking about. There has to be something like that earlier in games, whether it's a play or it's a block or something like that, where everybody is like, "Oh yeah, all right, let's roll."
Yeah. I agree. I think, especially at our position, you have to find a way to, whether it be a cut block, which you had a very, have you seen that old film?
Saw that? Yeah.
Yeah. Big scorpion. Bro laid it on his head. I'm like, okay, look at the kid.
Got the mess out of him. That was like a split-second decision because I wasn't planning on cutting him, but I was like, let me just put it on tape and cut him. And bro was like,
Nah, you did a good job with that one. Honestly, man, I think you did a good job overall. Besides that one penalty, the false start, that was kind of a momentum killer because that's fourth down. That was third down, fourth down, right?
4th and 1. Yeah, man. I heard something. I heard something. I heard go. Okay. And the funny thing is, when I was telling people, I was like, okay, me, I'm an old guy. A lot of stuff don't rattle me, right? And at the same time, I didn't really have anything in my gap at that point. So I was in no rush to get down there. But the reason I reacted the way I did, because I heard something. And I just like, that's the thing that people will never understand is that, like, in that moment, the other team might be saying our cadence. The ref could have said something that is similar to our cadence. He could have smacked DJ. Like, there are so many things that could have, like, happened in that moment to cause people to jump. Because I wasn't the only one. Wyatt also jumped. He'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't think the fans that watch understand that the other team will try and mimic your cadence. Like,
they will.
The ref, his job is to prevent that because that's illegal. But it still happens. So when you hear a go, sometimes it might not be DG. You just got to hear the quarterback's voice.
Right.
But you might be trying to
mimic. They'll be trying to mimic your quarterback's voice. I don't know what happened, bro. Also, there was like times where I don't know if the Roughnecks did it on purpose, but they were like shooting the guns like during plays and stuff like that. And so I was like. It was just a lot going on. No excuse, I got to be better. But, that was what was going on through my head for anybody that wanted to know why the 5th-year senior jumped off sides on the critical situation. So,
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we all make mistakes. Let me talk about the defense real quick. So, I was asked, Jay Hall, what did you think about the game and this and that? I'm like, I don't think one thing specifically killed us on defense. Honestly, I just think Kansas State executed well. Like, there was times where, the quarterback had plenty of time to get the ball out the pocket. We could talk about the defensive line. There was times where the safeties couldn't come down and tackle Deuce Vaughn. Not that I could, because that, I remember one play in particular. He had about 3 feet of space.
I know exactly what play you're talking about.
Within that play. Then got to the second. Yes. Then got to the second level and shook somebody else. I'm like, yo, okay, like this number 22.
Within like.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Within like inches. And I mean inches. Like man, I don't even know. I've never seen someone as shifty as that guy. We said it last week before the pod. Or during the pod, that's going to be a key. Like, we got to tackle this little guy. Martinez, the quarterback, took
he played out his body.
Perfect running lane possible. And I don't know.
He played out his body. I don't know what was going on, but he played out his body, man. That's the thing, though. Everybody's going to play us like that. Everybody's going to play us like that. It's just, just how it is. And we know that. And so we can't use that as an excuse. We know everybody's going to play out their body versus us, So, but.
Yeah. The defense, they just, we much like the offense couldn't get into a rhythm. Kansas State kept our defense on their toes. You know, you don't have to comment on this, but personally, I think from a defensive standpoint, we were outcoached. You know, I think that their offense did a hell of a job, and I mean a hell of a job. Like, I remember one play in particular. You remember New York Bible?
Mm-hmm.
They ran New York Bible down on the goal line, and they got Justin on a read option play. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I don't know how you expect, unless you load the box. And see, because the thing was, we were playing zone, and in order to beat that play, you got to lead the outside, you got to lead the corners, and man, you got to put an extra person in the box. You got to have somebody to run.
Right, you got to have someone
coming across. Yeah, and you can't that puts Justin in a bad position, and it makes everybody else look bad. But I'm like, that's just a hell of a play call. When the fullback tight end caught, I think he caught 2 balls over the middle when the defense was playing zone. That's not the defensive's fault. The open spot in any zone is the middle of the field, you know, depending on the depth of the middle linebacker. If it's Tampa 2, the middle of the field by the 5-7 yard line is always open. If it's regular cover 2, the middle of the field between the safeties is always open. You know, it's small things like that I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, you know, you got to be better as a leader, or, oh, Billy has to do this better. No, like, honestly, I think that the defense just got out coached, you know. Another example, and this will be my last one, quarterback power. What does quarterback power allow you to do as an offense? It allows you to keep an extra blocker, the running back, in the box. So that now puts 6 guys, the 5 offensive linemen and the running back, up against 5 people in the box. You know, if you're playing 3-2, 4-4-2, that's covered. Then you got to bring a safety down. So if you're going to put a safety in the run fit, then that leaves a one-on-one somewhere, you know, and that number 4 kid, you know, he's good, you know, So these were the mismatches they were creating. They ran quarterback power several times on 3rd down. They scored 2 touchdowns off quarterback power, and we didn't adjust to that properly. You know, when we did adjust to it, they took advantage of the one-on-one. So it's a lot going on out there. I'll never sit here and blame anything on one position group or one specific player, because then I gotta get a text from, you know, hey, Jay Hall, why are you calling me out like that? So it's a team effort, you know, and the team includes the players and the coaches. So you don't have to respond on that. I won't put you in that position, but that's the thoughts that I had on defense. Last thing that I'll talk about personally, then I'll let you touch up on anything you have left, is Mike Houck. I always find it cool how he comes up with these tweets, but he said, including tonight, as in last night, OU football has lost its Big 12 opener 5 times going back to 2006. On each of the 4 previous occasions, the Sooners won the Big 12 title 2006, 2007, 2012, 2020. I always thought these stats were kind of cool to see, but as a player, I never paid attention to them, because honestly, no year is correlated to any year. So I just wanted to ask, do you feel the same way when you see stuff like that?
I haven't seen that. I feel the same way that you feel, you know. Doesn't matter. We need to be where our feet are, you know, and focus on being the best team that we could be tomorrow and the next day, all the way up into TCU, and do it all over again.
Right. Well, wrapping things up, I know that whenever you have media or whenever people see you on the interviews and stuff like that, they're going to ask you, how can you guys turn this around? And you're going to want to give a good answer. You know, you're probably trying to think of that as a player yourself. And I want to tell you, when you get asked that question, or when you have thoughts of what can I do differently to make sure that this week is a success, don't feel like it has to be anything drastic. Okay. Because the formula is probably most likely the one you're using now is I can guarantee is a winning formula. Okay.
It is.
How many teams go undefeated throughout the season? I think OU has only ever had like 2 or 3 undefeated teams. And how many national championships?
Right.
Multiple. So when you report to that locker room tomorrow, smile and greet people as you always do. Keep morale up as you always do. You know, carry out your normal conversations. Don't beat a dead horse. You know, don't scramble. And what did he say about the eggs again?
Try to unscramble scrambled eggs.
Yeah, man. Go into that locker room tomorrow with the same energy you did week 1, because those young guys are looking up to you, bro. Those young guys are looking up to you.
And we'll do. You know, like I said, you go back and watch the film, and it's actually really encouraging to watch the film. No, we didn't play well, but we didn't play well, and we were about 4 plays away from breaking that thing open to a blowout. That says a lot about the type of team that we can be. So we clean up some stuff, man. Hey, we're gonna be all right.
Hey, before we wrap it up, we're talking from a negative standpoint and all, but my boy got 2 duddies.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's back-to-back years. The HVAC tight end room has 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
against Kansas State. Yeah. I scored last year on 2. You got 2 this year.
Yeah, I'm racking them up, man. It's all, all thanks to my Lord and Savior, man. But it's a good year.
I was surprised you scored on that corner, because I think the tight ends have ran several corner routes over the past 5 years and have never scored or have like won on a corner route.
Oh, that was coming to me though, all the way though.
Yeah. Also, I think they were playing cover 2. That whole shot was open.
Yeah, like a 26, because they're always in that 3 safety, so that bandit is there. So yeah, but we just shifted, or not shifted, but motioned our I think it was Theo across, and then they were in that safety over top corner playing the flat. So
yep, and that y'all ran. I know it as Redskin, but
that's essentially what it is. Yeah,
you did a good job. Keep staying on your feet, scoring on that.
Not gonna lie, that play was better than it even looked, because all I thought when I was coming across, okay, I gotta outrun somebody because someone's gonna be following me, and so I'm running, and then I saw the pressure off the edge, so I'm like, okay, I gotta get my eyes around quick because I know it's gonna be in his face. Like the person's gonna be in his face, and then as soon as I got my eyes around, like I'm looking, and then there's just a ball right there. Like it was like eyes around, like looking at DG, don't see nothing. Ball low left corner of my eye, catch. Then I was like, okay, let me just dive in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Yeah. So
well, you look good. You look good.
Appreciate that.
Sooner Nation.
I do appreciate that.
That is all we have for this week on the podcast. Keep your head up, boys, fans. Fear not. We still got a whole season left.
Oh, one last thing.
What you got?
One last thing. So typically, you know how it is in Norman after losses.
Yes.
After losses, it's very
like a dark cloud.
Yeah. It is not good. Some guys have received death threats. Hey, we don't take it too seriously, so it's okay.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so, that's not okay.
Putting us in group messages and stuff like that. It's okay. Like, hey, we get it. But I do want to shout out one guy, Aiden Noonley. I hope I said that right. But I think he's a college student here. And I took a picture with him at the spring game, and he sent me a nice little voice memo saying that, the student section, it was a tough night, but the student section is there. They're going to continue to be there. They're proud of us, and just to keep on going. And, those were nice words of encouragement, and so that means a lot, when a lot of times, though, you know, that dark cloud is surrounding the program. It means a lot for, you know, someone to just be like, hey, like, you know, we got y'all. Just get it right. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you, Aiden, and the rest of the student section and the rest of the fans. So,
yeah.
That I give my
shout
boy a shout out.
Aiden. Yeah. Shout out to, I have a shout out too. On my way back from Norman to Ardmore, I ran into this guy named Grant, and he said what's up, and I recognized his face. Long story short, he stayed in the same dorm I did my freshman year, and he told me he had one of your jerseys. He said he filled out the NIL thing on. Yeah, I saw like a couple of your jerseys out there yesterday, bro. I was like, man, nice. What I would do to be on this team one more year.
Shout out to the nation, man.
Yeah. So I told Grant, I'll give him a shout out. Grant, I hope you're listening. Matter of fact, I know you're listening. He said he listens every week. His family's a season ticket holder. Has your jersey, listens to the pod. He's a great guy. Listens to the pod, season ticket holder. I mean, has the, like, you know what? Just
a good guy, man.
Just a great guy.
We salute you, Grant.
We salute you, Grant. All right, y'all. That is all we got for this week on the pod. Brayden.
Deuces.
Love you, y'all.